Everybody, it's Matthew, and we're pretty excited to have partnered with ListHub to give you a whole new set of tools to help manage your listings and just keep up with what's working, what's not, keep your clients informed, and all the rest. And so, to give you a little bit of background on this, one of the things that we've heard from sellers for years is my agent isn't communicating with me. And then we go to the agent and find out there's been texts and emails and phone calls and everything. But what the consumer means is that they haven't gotten meaningful information. So we've partnered with ListHub to help you with one more thing, one more tool to keep your sellers informed with what's going on, to keep you informed with what's going on, and also to help with some other things. Specifically with price corrections if that's necessary. So let's say your house has been listed for a while and it's been on the market and these reports are going out to your seller. And one of the things that we coach and train you on is that when you're looking for price reductions, that's not the time to sit down with a bunch of data about the market changing and all the rest. If you haven't been doing that for a while, the seller's then blindsided, not knowing the market has changed and all that stuff. So this is another way to keep them informed, to show them the value that you give, and if there is a price correction, to let them have seen the progression or not of their your marketing efforts. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we are at listhub.com. ListHub, as you may not know, pulls data from the multiple listing service and then pushes it out to aggregators and other websites to get you more marketing exposure for your listings. So ListHub is that kind of core hub for that information. So you're going to go here to ListHub. You're going to click on Create Account. And then you're going to choose, I am a listing agent with a registered ListHub brokerage with an active listing. You do have to have a listing. It could be land or rental or for sale, but you have to have had a listing active at some point in order to get here. So then you're going to click on this link, and then it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to choose your MLS, and you're going to go down to the state that we're in, other than the state of confusion, and you're going to write MLS, then type in your agent ID number, and then the MLS ID number of your active listing. So again, you need the MLS ID and to have an active listing with the MLS number there, and then you'll hit look up and then go from there. It's really simple, just a few quick steps from there. Once you've created your account, when you log into your account, you're going to have a few menu items up here. But I'm going to start over here in the top right hand corner under your name. So you're going to click on your name, whatever username you set up, and go to settings, and then you see a few basic things here. Start with user information, because these are going to be reports that are branded for you. So you want to make sure your name and contact information is correct, the address, your photo, and whatever designations you have are here. And then you'll schedule when you want reports sent to you. So I want them every Wednesday. And then you can set up a second email if you have an assistant or some other email other than what's in MLS for you. Okay. So once you have set up your user information, everybody will change your password. If you have, most of you won't need to worry about this, but if you are have multiple IDs, you can get them synced up here. And then the agent website redirect. This is something you can upgrade if you want to help redirect. I don't know, with your Zap sites and your real estate sites, I think you're fine. You probably don't need this. And then lead management will handle and make sure that you are getting your lead information. So mine is already set up, but you'll go in here and add or change an email address. Mine is set up right now for the demo mode. What I would strongly recommend is that you change this to your 5 Street email address so that it goes through, these online leads go through your 5 Street account. And that's where you would go ahead and click edit and then just enter your 5 Street email address there. Okay. So those are the basic settings that you would have there. When you log in, once you've got the basics set up and your preliminary information, you're going to go to e-marketing. Now, a pretty common question we get from a lot of agents, generally after their seller has asked for it, is where do we even send all of our listings? Well, here you go. Under e-marketing, there is a list of all the websites that our listing is distributed to on day one once it's entered in MLS. Over here on the right under reports, you'll see the all sites list. That's this one. It's just a list with all the names. You could then choose the one that has the logos. Now, I personally find this pretty messy, and as you can see, there's sometimes just logos and no name. It doesn't mean a lot, so I'm not a big fan of this one. You can also go to top websites, which are the best performing websites for lead generation. I don't know that this has a tremendous amount of value for your seller, but if you wanted, it's there. And then there's a flyer or a graphic that you can add to your listing presentation to remind you to talk about the fact that you as a listing agent will be providing the seller with reports and information on a routine basis that they probably would not get from most of any, if not in no other agent. Of this page, I think the most valuable is this list that shows the all the websites that we're sending it to. Okay, so that's under e-marketing. Under inventory, when you click this, by default, it is going to have the office inventory for everyone in your office. If you just want to see yours, you're going to select under role, your agent name. Now, in my case, I only have a rental listing in here, so I'm going to go to all office, and I'm going to pull up the one I have co-listed, and I'm going to do search, and then we're going to go pull up, and you'll see here that there are 3 links. We're going to go first to the property page. So the property page is basically a single listing website. So this is a URL you can share. Let me say this. This is not a very attractive site. This isn't what we actually invested in this tool for. Your paradigm single listing website is way, way, way better. And if you're pushing out any link whatsoever, that would be the first one you would try. This could be something else you tried if you want to. But it's going to have basic agent information and then a place for consumers to schedule. Again, this is not a tremendously valuable single listing website, nowhere near what Paradigm offers you. So I'm just showing you this because it's in there. The second link over is the seller report. This is where the real power of this is for your seller. So here you're going to choose from a couple different, these are the PDF version you can download, or you can send or schedule. So I'm going to look at the reports over here on the right. It'll show you what type of reports are available. So the first one is the market comparison report, which is just what it sounds like. How is it doing in the market? Where have we seen action and activity here? It does show how many leads were generated from this listing and how many people actually did a detailed view. Like how many people actually went and truly clicked on it. This section tells you your top performing sites. So majority of our views have come from Realtor.com, not necessarily the MLS, and then some other websites with a little bit of traffic are listed here for that total. That is the market comparison view. The next one is the market comparison without leads. And if I were sending something to my seller, I would not send it with the number of leads that were generated from my efforts online. I don't think that's necessarily valuable to them, and especially if you see a low number. Leads come from a lot of different places. This is only tracking leads that have come from the direct distribution of ListHub. And then we see ListHub here, List View here, which I think, to me, List View without leads is probably one of the most valuable reports for my seller. So this shows their basic information, contact information, number of views. And this has been since we instilled this. This is not the life of that listing. This is since we set this system up. Top cities as to where people are looking. So majority of these have been Fredericksburg, there's some Ashburn, and then Delaware. For some reason, there were some views. And then here's our top performing websites by number of views for our client to see those numbers. If I like this report, again, I like this one at the bottom. You can choose whichever you wish. I'm going to go to send or schedule a seller report. Then it brings up the dialog window where I can put in my seller's name, first name, last name. If there's 2 of us listing it, we can put that there. Right, I type in the email address to who this is going to, or CC. And do you want to CC the agent? Yes. And then you can just leave this here. So where you see the open and close carets, it automatically will insert the address of your listing there for the subject. So it'll say report for 10610 Whispering Way, or whatever report you're running. If you leave those open and closed carets here, it'll automatically populate every time it runs this report, the seller's first and last name. So really you can leave this all alone. It'll put your name in there, or you can edit it. If you do leave I would not necessarily say greetings. I would change that to hello, and then the person's name. and then sincerely. I would probably wouldn't put sincerely just because it's a little too formal for me, but I would leave the standard language in otherwise and leave that there so my name's populated. You can send it now, yes, or you can schedule it for Wednesday every week or the first of the month or the 1st and 15th. I think every 2 weeks is probably okay. Me, I would rather just send it once a month. And then you can choose your report themes and see what they look like by clicking on the PDF. It'll actually open up a dialog and show you what each one of those looks like. All right, so I can go, I'm going to choose the market comparison. Remember I showed you the PDFs earlier in the previous screen. I'm going to go to list view without leads. I'm going to update my preview, and it's going to show me down here at the bottom what I'm getting ready to send my clients. And so then once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and hit submit, and then it'll set up that email either in the 1st of the month or 1st and 15th or every Wednesday, whatever, or not at all, there. So you can send it now, and you can also set it up for reoccurring sends to your client. All right. Do make sure that you're getting a copy of this. The CC agent should be yes, because you don't want to be surprised when your client calls you up and go, how come I don't have any showings this past week or views this past week? All right. So again, when you go in, you pick your listings, you're going to have the seller report. You're going to choose from one of these 4 templates and then click up here where it says send or schedule the report. The other option is to just click on the seller email. So don't worry about which report here, just go to seller email, and that same dialog comes up. Pick your whatever you're going to do. It updates the preview. It shows you an email, what that email is going to look like to your client, and then you can hit submit. So either way you can go. All right. Now, when I click from inventory over here to publishers, publishers is just what it sounds like. It's going to be a list of where your listing is being pushed out to the big internet site out there. And I want to start here. It's kind of subdued. This is a pretty important link. So under Publishers Network, go pull up the scorecard comparison. And when you pull up the scorecard comparison, it shows you each of the distribution aggregators, each of the websites in which we send information. It'll send you what kind of it is, what type it is. Do you need a code? Don't worry about this stuff, but it'll show what's going to be shown on that website for your listings: the address, the price, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, etc. Your name, excuse me, your phone number, your broker name, the office number. Do they have a mobile app associated with their company or brand? Are FSBO listings allowed? AVMs, automatic valuation models. And again, in this industry, we talk a lot about those pesky estimates. But look at all the sites that also have estimated values of property here. It's not just Zillow. Will there be an inquiry form to allow consumers to reach out to you? It'll show you here what that looks like. Competitive ads, they do have competitor ads on a lot of these sites. That's just part of what we live with. What's your listing status, redirect, and it just shows you on and on. Open houses, and it'll show you what pages all those things are on. So if your seller, for example, said, what websites will my open house show up on? You can go to display open houses and show them all those listings with X actually have open house information on there. All right. So again, I like that. That's more just for your kind of edification, so you know what's going on in those different publishers. And then there's a list of all the websites. So if you get a weird Google alert that your listing is showing up on some funky website you never heard of before, let's say it's Lake House USA, you want to say, is that legit? You can go here, click on the link, and actually ListHub is going to give you kind of an overview or summary about what that page is all about and whether it performs well. So when that does come up, for some reason it's a little sluggish right now. It comes up and it shows you a little bit about it. It shows you what the main features are of it, what other brokers have said about it, and how they've rated it. It's an extended network, which means it's not a direct. It comes from some other source. And then it tells you their game, what their thing is with links to the site. So, so again, you can go back and check that out if you want to, if you wanted to be more familiar with where this stuff is going and what's going on with it. Publisher choices, these are things we have preset for you right now. You're going out to 80 websites. We have more or less selected every website in which we can syndicate to syndicate. Why would you not? You want to get that information out to your potential buyer pool. All right, and then the last tab here is going to be your reporting tab. So again, when you get here to this reporting tab, it's going to have the office you're assigned to with some basic information. I'm going to go ahead and click over to just my name. So when you click that down arrow, you can switch to your name as opposed to the office. And again, I have one small rental in here, so it's not like I'm going to have a bunch of traffic, but you'll get the gist of it. So this shows you if you're seeing more search activity and business activity. This is for all of your listings. This is not just for one. You go back to the other report for this. This shows you how, as an agent, you're going, and you can choose the time range that you want to search. And I'm just going to say last month, set dates, and it's going to recalculate and show me that from last month to now, I'm down 160 views on my rental, which makes sense. We're in the middle of January, or middle of February, so January was going to, of course, be slow. And it says for over December or down, we expect that. All right. This will show you where again, this is a rental, so this is where the most activity, which one of these websites are doing the best for my particular listing. And this will show you how many leads, if any, came in from those sources. What was your best performing lead group? How many detailed views did I get? 16 leads, etc. And again, if I was an active agent, I would have a lot more content here, but you get what's going on here. You can go over to traffic reports, and actually there's a number. I'm not going to go through all these, but it'll just show you where those reports are, how they're performing, what physical area your searchers are coming from, where they're living, so where they're going to. And so I can look at this and actually tell you, Chesapeake, Alexander, Fredericksburg, Stafford, this is primarily military. That would be my guess by looking at those numbers. And you can see when there's been increase in search activity there, and it gives me a little bit more information. And then customer reports, I can go to different websites and get better and deeper reports if you're super into it. Not sure I have personally a lot of value for a rental for making those reports, but for sellers, I absolutely would. So certainly worth you going in there and playing with it and looking at it. But that, in a nutshell, is an overview of the ListHub report. Of all the stuff I went over, the three most important things I think for you is under e-marketing, a list of all the listing sites or all the aggregators in which your seller's listing is going to go to. Number two, the ability to run reports and send them automatically to your seller. And then under publishers, being able to check that scorecard so you know what's performing and what is available on all those sites. And then after that, not necessarily my top three, but that last one is just your performance reports on your listings and how they're going under reporting. So those are the main features. I hope this helps you. It certainly is a great tool for data-driven sellers and for agents who need and want to know where they can help nurture some more growth in their listings and where that business is coming from. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the marketing team. They'll be happy to help you out. Thanks. Have a great day.